Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, SuperCoach Pro. Today I'm sort of looking at a different avenue to my trades this week. Looking at a round 7 preview. Now, we've had some popular players in some high percentage sides just going nuts, and I'm worried. So I might actually trade a different player in that's a pod that could go really well tonight. And I think you guys might know who it is. Takes kickouts and he plays for Port Adelaide. So I'll delve into that in a second, but Max Gordon going 162, Green going 159. Popular picks. You can see half the competition own them. So it's not good for me at the moment. Dacos I didn't BC. I was worried about the Durham tag. We discussed that. Merritt 127. So I'm not too worried about fading him so far. Bounce back game for Whitfield. So holders will be happy with that. Parish I'm not looking at this year. Nick Martin seems to be doing what Nick Martin just punched out these nice scores. So very good pick. I don't think I want to pay 600k for the bloke though. Went forward, snuck up with that goal. I'm surprised he didn't get more scaling, to be honest. And then Stephen May I talked about for 405k on the Sunday stream. I knew he'd go well against Tigers. I knew he was a value pick, so that's a good one. I wouldn't jump on next week though. And then there's a few rookies that we can look at coming into next week as well. I wouldn't go early on any of them. This guy, Daniel Turner, scored 3 goals, played forward for Melbourne. 101, that's decent score. If I filter it out just a little bit, for rookie numbers, what are we talking so far? It's just whether they keep their spot. Like I don't want to go early on players unless there's job security issues in terms of injuries. They're the only ones I'll go for, like Sweet this week. Darcy Jones 75, so he looked good, looked really just really quick, broke the lines. Hopefully he stays on that side when Green comes back. So he's a player we could look at. Equally, also, if he gets a role with Sam Taylor in the back line, he's one that will be on the bubble next week. Looked pretty good. The others probably not going to touch. I know Harvey Harrison, pretty sure was sub on that game. So that's pretty good for a 48 for the limited game time. And then, yeah, the big thing I guess, is team lineups. Like, not talking about these ones particular, but Burton out means that you might see the monopoly of kickouts to just be really Houston. Who's the other bloke that takes it? And Farrell. So there might be some more points there for Houston. St Kilda week points to defenders. We all know that by now. We've heard it on every channel. But I'm thinking about taking a punt on Houston. I know it's a lot of money to pay up for. It's something I'm looking at, especially with that lineup and that fixture that they've got coming up. I think they've got North as well coming, and West Coast, I believe, very shortly. So this is the other one. Matt Crouch comes back for Dawson. Sorry, not for Dawson, but with Dawson in the same midfield. So I just want one more look at that, just to play it safe. I don't. If he scores like under 110, I'll probably not look at him at all, especially against North. You think he'd punch out a 130 at least. And then Hinge, you could probably go there. That was brought up on the stream as well. I actually like the Hinge pick, especially with Brody Smith this week and not playing, who takes kickouts as well. An absolute pod, by the way. And then not too much on the north side. On the north side, apparently, what's his name? Fisher will be sub. So if you got him, you're gonna have to get rid of him. I think JD's got him, so he's gonna have to flick him now. Biggie Ewan still named. Carl Dawson. It wasn't a shoulder. I think I said about a shoulder. It wasn't that at all. But anyway, regardless, he'll be back in 2 weeks for Ewan's spot. Sure, he doesn't get a gig. If you are going there, he's going to make you maybe 80k in 2 weeks, and then you can flick him off. But he'll just be dead rookie. So have plans for him if you do go there. And Drury, I don't know. He's a candidate that could get subbed off if he has a quiet game, I feel. So not a fan of that one. And that's why I'm reluctant to go early on a rookie. And then, yeah, some outs as well, like Jai Clark omitted. Probably not a bad thing for people that held because he's break even 74, so probably just holding him now and hope he comes good at some point, but he's just dead. There's no point swapping him for anybody. Zach Williams named. I'm not sure if he'll be laid out, but I think I'm punting him out of my side anyway. I'm probably holding Mass instead. Sanders omitted, so yeah, don't cross Bevo, I guess. Cooper Simpsons, yeah, sorry, not Simpsons. Simpson looks like a rookie that we could look at. He's got mid four DPP. I think he's like 117k, but I feel like on the team sheet he could be sub. And then Chapman, I'm not sure if that affects Ryan's scoring back there. Potentially does. So I'll probably look out for this game just to see what happens there. Then with the Suns game, not too much to know. I don't think too many have Brody Ewan in their side, but he's been omitted. Sexton, sure he's not named. No, he's not named. So he's probably one of those catfish players where he doesn't play again. He's just an emergency. I can't see him getting a gig over those players. Holman plays, I think. Fiore, he plays for sure. Swallow plays. And probably McPherson. I don't know. It doesn't really matter anyway. Pretty irrelevant, that bench. And then, yeah, Reed getting rested sucks for us 80% owners that have him, or 78%. I suppose if you don't have him, you could always jump on him next week after he's been rested. Might smack out another 140-plus game. And then Will Day comes back to the side as well, which is nice for the Hawks. I don't know if that would affect Massimo, any of these ins really, but he is named on the field, so it's unlikely to be sub, but I've seen weirder things happen anyway. And Goulden's still always named on the wing. I've looked at his scoring. He's dropped a couple 70s, so I'm not interested in Goulden this year, I don't think. I think there's better midfielders there. But what I have been doing, and this is what I want to look at a little bit, right? So I'm just taking every line into account, right? Now, when we look at our defense, who do I want to finish my defense with? Well, it's probably Houston and it's probably Luke Ryan. And then the rest could be pods for 100k cheaper that could do very similar. But there's a huge gap between a Clark and a Houston. There's 10 points per week. Now, Houston's 3-round average is better than Luke Ryan. Chapman coming to the side, I might actually have a leg up on Luke Ryan owners. He's not owned by a lot of people. 597, probably not ideal paying for a primo that's highly this stage of the season, but it's the points on field I think he can make before his buy. It's probably the last buy 13 round buy player I'll pick in my side because I've already got 4 of them, I think. But he's in 12%. Lower score 105, 141. He's got St Kilda, Adelaide, Geelong. He does got Hawthorn and North. I thought he had West Coast here somewhere. Maybe he's already played them. He did round 1, but regardless, he's got a pretty good fixture. Like they're winning probably 4 out of 5 of those games, and then the bye after the Carlton game, and then I just feel like it's a really good pick. He's going to take kickouts, of course. You look at his disposals when you click fantasy there. You know, he doesn't need a lot of the pill to still get good marks. Good scaling in terms of points because his kick to handball ratio is quite good. You can see he kicks more than handball. So even with 18 disposals, he's racked up 114 points, 6 marks, etc. Kicks the odd goal, we can see that, but doesn't need a lot of the pill to go high. And that's what I think I love about Houston. And now that he's got kickouts, we could see him do the reverse Luke Ryan and just go 130s from here on out. So I'm thinking I'm going with him at the moment. And then, I mean, if you look at it this way, I was looking about Walsh. I've been talking about Walsh a lot, and I think it's our fault as YouTubers getting hot on particular picks between Dawson and Walsh. And I'm sick of going with crowds sometimes and getting stuck into number crunching of popular picks. And maybe I just want to go do something different and be Potter-like. Because I'm not going to win the 50k or 2k by being what everyone else does, am I? And that's the plan. So Walsh, I think I'll fade. He's not going to retain a 148 average right now. I was hot on him last night. And I get like this, so I do apologise. But his fixture, I don't know. It does look tough on paper. I can't really see any tags coming through with him. I still love the pick, don't get me wrong. But I'm only bypassing this because I just realised how many teams are bringing him in. He's going to be a 29% owned player. So 1 in every 3 sides will have him. His fixture, I'm hoping it sort of stuffs people's buys up. What buy does he have? He has a round 14 buy, the dreadful one, I think that most people don't like. So I'm hoping they stuff their buys and have too many premiums in that one potentially. but he's got a tough run. I mean, these Giants is decent midfield, of course, but he's got Cats, Collingwood, Melbourne, Sydney, and then he's got Gold Coast and Port, Essendon, Geelong. Like, they're pretty tough next few games. So hopefully there's a lot of pressure on him. Don't know if he'll go 160 again because he did play Adelaide, so got to remember that. Like, they're pretty useless with midfielders. So I fade Walsh. I think I'll target other players in that midfield. I know it's wild to say that, but I just feel like if I'm going to go value, I'd rather value midfielders that can average the same, whereas Houston's got a 10-point gap on defenders. So I'm looking at it in a different way, I think. Real I've probably missed. Merritt I probably missed. But I think Petrarca will come down quite a bit. I can afford him potentially next week. Tom Green I'm looking at. I mean, he probably stays around the same price. I was always hunting on him. I was hoping he'd go 110 so I could jump on him in 2 weeks' time, but hasn't happened. But Track is probably the next one I'm going for potentially. Like 93 in that system will be there for a few weeks, so he'll still go down in price. You can see who comes to about 580. You can pick him up. And then potentially I might go Dawson next week. I won't have a lot of cash to play around with next week in terms of midfielders, but I think I'll just wait and see one more week. What's Anderson's break even? I think he got tagged in that 50 game when I was watching it anyway. That's what my eyes had seen. Break even's 120. Could be interesting one to jump on to, potentially, Anderson, with the teams they've got coming up, Gold Coast. But I might have a look at that next week. I've even liked Josh Kelly. I was thinking about Kelly this week, to be honest, with Cogs out. Still don't know how long Cogs is out with that knee. Still like George Hewitt for value. Look at his scores are probably really decent, actually, for a guy at 521k. I thought about him a few times. I thought he might be just not the VC or C worthy, obviously. 106, 76, 124, 103, 105, 110, but just real consistent for the price. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to do on my side, I think, for the last time. This is what I did to update so you guys can get a sort of final team thing. I've done another Chris Scott press conference where I sub a bloke in 5 minutes before the bounce. Maybe it's because I am in Geelong that I can do these sort of last-minute moves. It still always has revolved around Zach Williams coming out of my side, though. I mean, Mass named on there feels like it's a hold for now. He's got the oil break even. Meek comes out for the side as well. I mean, Soldo's injuries, at least 4 to 5. We see Darcy took 6 weeks off, I think, with that injury. And then they've got the bye anyway, so they might just rest Soldo to the bye. They've got the round 13 bye. It's round 7 now. So I think they give him an extra week and let him get cherry right for the post-bye season. Like, what's the point of playing him one game and giving him another rest? Just give him the extra 2 weeks potentially, if that makes sense. So for me, this is really going to shake my side because I'm watching all these big scores from popular players, and I'm like, Houston will go large against St Kilda. Maybe I can get a bit of a leg up. He's a pod. Marshall VC could be interesting too against Soldo. So I'm really throwing everything I can at this, because if I don't do this and don't do something crazy, then I'm going to lose a huge ranking drop with the Gorn and Green owners this week. So got to really take a punt here. I could even VC Houston, to be honest, but I just think Marshall should capitalise, surely. But Houston's in form, so probably scratching my brain out with this one. Yeah, all right. I really don't know, but I'm happy to go early on Houston and get the Garcia from the Dogs next week. I'm not going to grab a biggie or anyone on the bubble. It is risky, but we're talking in the stream last night, and everyone's pretty sold that Sweet is the only ruckman there. I mean, this guy kicked 3 goals, been playing as a forward, Dainty, however you say his name, but he's only like 20 or 21 or something like that. Sweet, surely. Like, he dominated VFL and Sandford and all that, whatever he's been playing. Just a good player all around. If you look at his VFL stats, probably won't go into it because this is what I think I'll do. Meek had a break even 72, so I do understand there's merit and worth holding, but he plays Grundy. Does his tap outs get sharked? Don't know. I made 80k. I've got points on the field for having that line while Gorn owners and those, set and forget owners. I've been making points or trying to at least make points in cash again from not owning Gorn. And I'm not sure if it's been working long term or if it will at the end of the year. You can probably do the math and calculate it, but be a bit boring. I'm not an accountant. So yeah, this is a side how it will line up this week, I think. And look, sorry if there's some weird change and I get cold feet like Houston at 7:30. I'm sure I'll put it on my Twitter. You can follow the trade moves there if there is any late change, or maybe I'll just put my YouTube comment. So how are we going to run? Just to cover my bases, in case Young is laid out or something weird, I'm just going to leave him on field and have the Wilson emergency there. Hold Mass. I'll probably an advocate for selling Mass or Williams, to be honest. But you can already see there BE of 45. But he is named on field, so here's one hold to maybe next week to Carl. But look, if he scores another good score, I've got other rookies I can get rid of. So cash gen's super important. It also does help if you do pick value picks at some point, because I've only got a couple of players that are worth 300,000 now, and that's Sharp and Massimo. So I can get it 550k player next week, which I might look at Dawson if he maintains a good role. Not so much a score, but a role. And then I'll have to flick off Cadman and Karmas soon as well. That might be a value pick we might look at some point. So cash gen looks all right. And then I'll probably hold Roberts the longest out of this side, but we've still got Comben, Will Graham to flick, Garcia, eventually Darcy's probably thereabouts to get rid of. So I feel comfortable with the side I've got. That is the side going to the round. I think I'll captain Bont. He just seems a more reliable pick. My projected, I probably don't look into it too hard. I mean, a lot of people go, 2-4, 2-5, and I take that with a grain of salt because it's never really what it is. Like sometimes it's 150, 200 points out either side of what they've predicted anyway. So, I mean, I'm not too fussed at all. They're predicting Jeremy Sharp for a 92. I don't think he gets close to a 92, but whatever. I think Roberts is more likely to go 92, and their scores are switched around, Roberts and Sharps. So, projected means nothing. I mean, don't ask me too much about projected. I don't think much of it. Anyway, that's the side going into the round. That's the final side going into the round, I'd like to say. But you guys know as much as I do that I do fade out of picks late in the round, and that's why I have to do these updates on a Friday morning when we're 3 games in and I've only had one player play on my ground. So Sunday night stream, 6:30, 7 o'clock. We'll do that again, answer all the questions. Let me know your rage trades and let me know who you're VCing seeing into the round. Sorry, I'm sure you've already got VC gone anyway, like I said to. Sorry for the Petrarca one. I thought he'd go larger than that, but for non-track owners, he's probably pretty juicy in 2 weeks. So I'll leave the video there. Catch you on the next. Bye.